Good morning. I'm actually feeling pretty tired, and I have two videos to do this morning. I hope to have a conversation with Aristo after I finish this and get it all uploaded and everything. And even though I didn't go to bed till 10:30-ish, a little after actually, I think I finally called it a day yesterday. And then I woke up between 1:45 and 2 o'clock. I finally realized that I wasn't going to fall back to sleep, so I got up not very much after 2. Anyway, as I said, I'm feeling tired. The title for this morning's video is We Really Need More Inside Jobs. And that doesn't mean what you may think it means. I know I cannot speak for everyone. Yet I sense that what I need most in my life is to connect more strongly with the kingdom of heaven within me. I believe that is what most of us need. I'm not suggesting that we ignore what's going on in the world or deny the reality of the conspiracies to defraud humanity of its birthright. On the contrary, we need to use that awareness to propel us to dig deeper and fly higher, discovering within us a kingdom that cannot be shaken by whatever goes on around us. Like many, I tend to be blown about by events that either seem like potential answers to prayer or the opposite, more of the same insanity. Yes, I want stability in my world. However, I really need that strength inside of me, not dependent on anything else. I've experienced that in the past, yet as events are unfolding now, I get really anxious, wondering when and how the vision of a world that works for everyone will finally manifest. I need more inside jobs. As I listened to the collective imagination last night, Lisa was back and others from their Morocco trip, and they had Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, on at the beginning part of the program, first half hour to an hour. I don't remember exactly what time he finished up, but in any case, they asked him, when can we expect extraterrestrial visitation on Earth? And the time range he gave was 2025 to I think 2035, although I might not be correct on the second part, but I know the beginning date was 2025, and when I heard that I thought, oh shit, we'll never make it then. If they're not going to get here, if they're going to wait that long before they arrive on the scene en masse, before there's first contact and actual interaction with our extraterrestrial and celestial family, then we're just not going to be able to make it. But you see, the reason I feel that is because I don't believe humans can do it by ourselves. Because I don't believe I can do it by myself. That's why I say I need more of an inside job. I need to have the inner person, the inner me, strengthened even more. It's not enough to remember the times that I've had my mountaintop experiences. It's not enough to remember the times that I felt connected to all life in my meditations. And they're more rare than I'd like to admit. I'd like to think that I have them regularly, but regularly I'm caught up in either the anticipation of a hoped for event or the disappointment of events that did not occur the way that I expected them to, when I expected them, how I expected them, and I get blown away. My faith gets shaken, and I don't know how many of you are in that category of shaking faith. I mean, if all your faith is intellectual faith, that's one thing. But if your faith is based on actually accomplishing something on earth, I don't mean waiting for some waiting for yourself to die, or some mysterious rapture of some sort where you're whisked off the planet to a paradise to leave all the hell and the tribulation behind for those that don't quite measure up for your rapture theory, your ascension theory. Yeah, a lot of people aren't going to measure up. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about finding the inner strength within each of us so that not only doesn't it matter what happens in the world around us, we can actually produce the energy necessary to make the changes so that it won't matter if the ETs wait until 2025 or whatever, what seems like a far off distant date. I mean, whenever I've heard Cryon, channeled by Lee Carroll, talk about it's going to be the latter part of the next decade before we really start to see the changes, I mean, I get angry. I mean, I actually feel angry when I hear them put it off, because I wanted it 2 years ago. I was expecting in October 2011, I was expecting huge changes, huge changes. That was my kickoff video, or my article, I should say, 2011, a year of massive visible changes. That was the video that, or the article on my website that launched these videos in the early part of 2011, when Steve Beckow and then one of my friends here locally both suggested within days of each other that I start doing videos. But I really did, at that time, expect that there would be major changes. And when I say major changes, I mean geopolitical changes. I mean the criminals that have been running our government either get arrested or transformed, or in some way they don't have the same criminal mentality, or they're simply not enabled, or they're disabled from wielding any power in our world. But obviously, going on 2 years later, that still hasn't happened. And I've been waiting for that to happen since 2001, right after 9/11. I mean, I was expecting, I didn't believe George Bush would finish out his first term, not to mention a second term. You know, and then I got tremendous hope when people were saying that Obama was our answer. Obama was the one that was going to bring us real change. Yeah, real change, all right. Worse than George Bush. Worse than George Bush. And then Matthew goes and still says that he's working on the light side, that Obama's one of the light workers. I'm sorry. That's not evident in my world. And to me, if the geopolitical structure and the economic structure doesn't change in our world, there's going to continue to be slavery. There's going to continue to be war. There's going to continue to be suffering. There's going to be continuing to be inside jobs of the dastardly kind, of the conspiratorial kind, that use patsies and use these disasters and tragedies to focus attention on why we need more control in our world, why we need to take away the Bill of Rights, why we need to take away human rights, why the elite can get away with their so-called national security. Yeah, national security, my butt. You know, the only national security that they mean is don't let us get caught at what we're doing, because we are not planning nice events. We are planning horrible events, horrific events. We want to see the world under total domination, totally under our control. And these are the things that shake me in the world, because even though I sense changes are happening, until something happens that brings real enforcement, or stopping the nonsense, stopping the pathological insanity of our freaking leaders, and we start getting on the same page and transforming the dark ones and transforming the light ones so that we all integrate our opposites. That's a terrible thing for most people to think about, whether they're on the dark side or the light side. Light side doesn't, so many light workers don't want to integrate their dark side. They don't want to integrate the shadow. They'd rather deny that it even exists. Well, I'm not afraid. I'm not angry. Yeah, right. Then you're blind. You've got your head up your butt or in the sand or someplace else where you're not paying attention to the world that we live in. Now, I'm saying all this to paint a picture of the world we live in and of some of the things that I've noticed personally and some of my expectations and my disappointments. And I'm saying to God this morning as I'm in prayer and meditation, I'm saying, Father, Mother God, especially Mother God, I'm your son, but I really need your kingdom strengthened in me so that I don't get so easily shaken by what I see going on around me or what I fear might be taking too long to actually bring about the necessary changes that have to happen on this planet to produce the kingdom of heaven on earth and to make a world that works for everyone so that we can have peace, so that we can work compassionately and cooperatively with each other, and we can create the world that's ours by birthright. But there are still people in the world that don't want us to attain our birthright. They don't want us to be enriched and empowered. And they work feverishly to try to make it so that it can't happen by putting chemtrails in our skies and polluting our aquifers and our water supply, by polluting our food, by polluting our medicines so that it compromises our immune system, and withholding the technologies that would liberate us and would help us heal and be well. And there's people that don't want that to happen because of this false economic system in the world. And I see all that needs to change. And I don't want to be totally living in anxiety. I don't totally live in anxiety, but it's far too more often than I would like it to be. I don't mind an occasional fear or something that comes up that I can laugh at and say, stop lying to me. It's false evidence appearing real, but it's not real. I'd like to be able just to laugh it off. But sometimes it's hard to laugh it off because of past experience and because of what I see happening to other people around the world, what I see, the suffering that I see other people experiencing and going through. It makes my heart break. I want so much to see a world that works. I want so much to see the leaders in our world develop a heart like Glenn Beck apparently did. That he lost his voice, so he did the flashcard thing. And I don't like to read videos. I mean, I hate it. I really strongly dislike it when people send me a video that has words that I'm supposed to read. I don't mind there being words on the screen, but for God's sake, if you've got words there, speak the words so I can hear them, because I don't like to watch videos. I like to listen more than I watch. I'm oftentimes doing more than one thing when I have videos playing. But in any case, I watched Glenn Beck. And I don't like Fox News. I mean, that would be the last channel I'd want to watch. I tend to be more progressive in my ideas, except when it comes to finances. Then I'm more finances and law. I'm very conservative. I mean, the Constitution to me is the bedrock of not just American society, but of all human society. The Bill of Rights. I mean, these things are absolutely essential foundational elements in the restructuring of our world. They were given to us a couple hundred years ago, over 200 to 300 years ago. The Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, and the Magna Carta even further back than that. But we need these things applied today so that everybody is accountable to the law, so that our leaders can no longer break the law. The bankers can no longer break the law. The media people, the media owners and the heads of corporations can no longer break the law and violate our rights. So I appreciated what Glenn Beck said about love and about faith and about building the foundation based on values that all humans and all religions have. And it was really balanced. And thank you, Glenn Beck. I see the transformation in you. And I applaud you for for being willing to speak out even silently with your flashcards. That took some time to create that presentation, and I thank you for it, even though sometimes the cards went too fast to read in a few places in the video. But in any case, there are changes happening. But I need something, if it's going to be over 10 years yet before the celestial brothers and sisters and the extraterrestrial brothers and sisters show up to stand with us. I don't mean do it for us, but to stand with us. If that's what it's going to take, then I need to be more strengthened inside of me. And I think all of us need to be strengthened inside of ourselves so that having done all, we can stand in the truth. We can stand in love. We can stand in the values that make humanity tick and that make life worth living. That's what I want. That's what I've always wanted. That's why I continue to dedicate my life and get up early every morning to do these videos, because I care, because I want to see life work for you. Even the dark workers, I want to see life work for them as long as they aren't making life not work for others. That's got to stop. But I want life to work for everybody. That's all I'm going to share today. I thank you again for listening. May God bless you, and may God help us all experience inside jobs that strengthen us in the inner man and the inner woman that we really are. Namaste. Thank you.